Hi, my Facebook friends. It's Shar, and it's been a few weeks since I made a video. I actually had a surgery about 2 weeks ago, and I think this is the first time that I have brushed my hair, brushed my teeth, and gotten myself to be presentable. So just want you to know I apologize for that. But in the last 2 weeks, there's been a lot of perspective, and I'm so excited to share it with you. I know a lot of you see this high energy, successful woman in front of you today, 46-year-old woman in front of you today, but what I want to do is I want to take you back and share the journey of how it all started. And I want you to know that my beginnings started unlike most any person that you would ever meet. My mom and dad were married, but not to each other. And when my mom was pregnant with me, she shot me in her stomach. She didn't want me. And this is a different time. Back then, they gave me back to her. And this is the woman that raised me. And I was in and out of foster care. And I was beat. I was beat every day of my life. And I was beat down. And I wasn't accepted. The love that a parent should give to a child was never there for me. And the beauty of all of this is that when you're growing up and you're going through something like that, you really truly don't know how bad it is. You don't see it. I know that I would go to other friends' homes and I would see things and how they were done differently, but I never knew exactly how bad my childhood was until I grew up and I had my own children, and I was able to see how a childhood should look. And I think that's why a lot of what we go through in life is called baggage, is because you visit, you go through it, and it stays with you. And as you go through different stages of your life, you reopen it, you revisit that luggage to see how it's going to affect you. And for so much of my life, so many people wanted to write me off or put me in a corner because I was that kid that would come home with you that your parents didn't want to come over. I was the kid that would come to your house and I would eat your food because I had no food at my house and I was hungry. I was the kid that came to your house at 11 o'clock at night when school got canceled because school got canceled and I wanted to go outside and make snowmen and there was no one there to stop me. And I was the kid that was the last to be picked on the kickball team. I was the kid that didn't have the date for any dances. I was the kid that your parents didn't want to have you bring home. And it wasn't because I was naughty. It was because I might be dirty. I didn't know how to take care of myself. I wasn't taught the things that children should be taught. I wasn't taught manners. I wasn't taught how to dress. I will say this, I would wear flip-flops in the middle of winter. I still do. I always will. You can't take that from me. I'm going to still do that. But as I go through different stages of my life, what I've realized is that I feel like I use the second 20 years of my life to balance the first 20 years of my life, to understand and appreciate the journey and not let it limit me, not let it catch me up and let it label me and let it end there. Let me become what everyone thought I should have become, which was nothing, because that's what I was told I was. And I can look back now and I can be so thankful for, right now I'm going through a situation where somebody has brought some false charges against me that has completely turned every area of my life upside down. And I have been told that I need to be quiet about this and that I have to shut up about this. And while I won't mention names, what I will stop doing is shutting up. I'm not going to be quiet about this. I'm not going to be quiet about this because I'm not the only one going through this and I'm not the only one struggling with this. But what I will share with you is this, is that going through what I'm going through now, and this has devastated every area of my life. My children were not able to come home to their home for almost a week. My daughter, who was captain of her cheerleading squad, I haven't been able to see any of her games this year. I wasn't able to see her homecoming. I wasn't able to see her coronation. I wasn't able to walk her on her senior night. These are my children. The only family I have, my 3 children are the only family I have. And these things were taken from me, from somebody who is abusing me to start with, but has found a way to use the system to continue the process. And what I will say is this: there are not enough laws in place to protect children, because as a survivor of extreme childhood abuse, and when I say extreme childhood abuse, I will not go into details, but I will share with you that it is stuff that the movies are made out of, and it is stuff that no child should ever have to experience. There are not enough laws in this country that could protect a child that's being abused. But what this person has done to me and turned my life upside down is unacceptable. It affected my business. It affected my brokerage. It affected relationships. It affected where I live. It affects my safety. And this person to this day is continuing and still continuing to abuse me. And it's being allowed. The beauty of all of it is this, that now I look back on that childhood that was so tough. That childhood where so many people didn't accept me, not even my own mother. That I didn't look to other people for acceptance. I found that in me. I found that inside of me and with my God, that when I went to bed at night and I closed my eyes at night, that if I am the person that God designed me to be, living the life that I know He has trusted me to live, that's all I need. I don't need other people's acceptance. And let me share with you with what I've gone through in the last couple months. It's not been easy, because the accusations that have been brought against me are devastating, and that was the intent of what my abuser wanted to do. And everybody's telling me to be quiet and not talk about it, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to become very loud. I'm going to become very loud because I'm not the only one going through stuff. There's nothing wrong with, when you're vulnerable, letting people know what you're going through and that you need help. And my abuser is counting on me to be quiet, because in the past, when he's done this to other women, they cower and they go off into a corner and they take the beatings that he has given them, if not physical, emotional, and mental. And it just gets brushed under the rug, and he gets to do it again and again. And I'm not going to stand by and be quiet anymore. What is going on is beautiful in my life, because my faith is unshakable. And not only was it unshakable when it started, but it has gotten even more unshakable, because let me tell you, every day I go to my Bible and I read it, and I read the story of how Noah was on the ark for 40 days and 40 nights. And while we hear that and we think that 40 days and 40 nights is pretty easy, let me tell you that day 17 and day 23 were really hard for him, because they were really hard for me. And let me tell you, when Jesus went to the garden and he prayed before they crucified him, I know what that prayer was, because I made the same prayer for my car before I had to go turn myself into the jail for things that made no sense to me. And I'm sharing this story with you because there are people who are hurting around you. There are people who are struggling around you every single day, and we should not be quiet about it. You need to be vocal. You need to be vocal in a way that's respectful, and you also need to learn the beautiful lessons. Because let me tell you, through this process, I wouldn't change my childhood for nothing. There's no childhood that you can give me that would have prepared me any better for this moment. Because as a child, God put his hands over my ears to protect me from the criticism and the needing of other people's acceptance, and had me go to him. He found me. And that through this process of what I've gone through in the last 2 months, and the friends that I've seen turn backs on me, and the people who prematurely judge, and I get it. I get it. I so understand. It's so funny, because before all of this started, I went and got that grace tattoo on my wrist. The grace is there to give because I know it's going to be given to me. I understand when there is such a sensational event that happens that people don't know how to handle it, and you have knee-jerk reactions, and what do? And a lot of the time what people do is nothing, and they just walk away, or they just like drop you like a hot potato because they don't know what to do. And it's okay. It's okay, because what I want to show you is that I'm not built of anything more than what you have. I don't have family. I have 3 children. I don't have a silver spoon. I don't have a college education. I don't have anything special about me that's not in every other person in this world, other than I have incredible faith. And I have the knowledge that whatever I go through is to push me to a better place. It's to stretch me in ways that I didn't see coming. And I can tell you, holy cow, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And someone asked me the other day if there's anything that I could do to change it, would I? And there's not a moment I would change of this, because through this process, my children have seen a strong woman, and they've seen that when you think the world turns their back on you, you go internal. You go to your faith. You go to the things that you know you can count on, and to don't quit. And so the last step of all of this for me is to start being loud. I'm not going to be quiet about this. What's going on is wrong. What I've been accused of is wrong. It's not true. And when all of the story and the truth is known, you'll easily see it too. I can't go into the details, and that part frustrates me. But what I can do is I can show you a strong woman who, in the face of adversity, does not cower. I will stand up. I will love. I will continue to volunteer. I will give back. I will find the broken and the lost and inspire, because they inspire me as much as I inspire them, because we're all connected. We all need each other through all the good, the bad. It's what you do with it. I could easily have let my childhood limit me, but it didn't. It's one of the reasons why I went and taught exit strategy classes at the women's prison, was because I thought I had more in common. I had more in common with them than I did the world. And what I know is that we all have everything, and we have much more in common than we don't. So remember, life is like that ocean. And there's a lot of nets in the ocean. There's a lot of fishermen out there trying to catch you up in their net. And if you don't learn the lessons, you're going to go back into the ocean. You're going to get caught back in a net again. Or you can choose to learn the lessons and master it and make it better and expand your world and use it as a moment to create opportunities, and to always give grace and forgive, because no one does anything perfect the first time. Not even yourself. You got on a bike, you fell over, we had training wheels. So the way people react to you, the people who maybe turned their backs, the people who disappointed me, it's okay. It's all okay. What I've learned is that you do watch actions and you slow down. There's no rush, but you don't stop loving, and you don't stop telling your story. And my life is going to be a test. My phone keeps ringing. I have to keep pushing cancel on that. So my life will be a testimony of what is possible. Because if this bastard child, who was not wanted from the beginning, can create a life that gives back, one that inspires and connects, one that makes the world a better place. And I have nothing more than just 3 children. I've created family. I have people who are like family in my life. But if I can do this, then what can you do in your life? And when you're in the middle of those moments that are so defeating, that you feel that you want to give up, don't give up. Embrace it. Stop letting your ego get in the way and just throw your arms open to life and all that it's going to teach you. And know that as you go through this, you're going to meet people. You're going to meet people you wouldn't meet other places, other ways. And it's people whose lives you might change, and it's people who might change your life, who might inspire you. But we need to remember that we're all connected. And that while you see this strong woman who put these motivational videos out there every single day, that doesn't mean that I don't have bad days. I've got a collection of videos from every day since this event started happening to me that are true, that are grit, that are the day 13s and 17s and the days I wanted to give up. But that's not what I want to put out there in the world. What I want to put out there in the world is the choice that we have. And that's love and inspiration. And I want you to know today, tomorrow, if something devastating happens in your life that you did not see coming, if someone is doing things to you that you don't deserve, don't be a victim. It's a choice. The choice is not to become bitter. It is to become better. It is to become stronger. It is to learn the lessons, because if you don't, you'll repeat the cycle again until you do. And if you're really tired of going through the same thing and you're looking back over your past, because that's why the second 20 years of my life balanced the first 20. I had to figure out those things. I had to figure out the cycle. I still am. It's a life process. But now when I see it, I welcome them a lot better. My arms are fully open. I don't have to know all the answers. I don't have to have it all figured out. But I want to let you know, if you're in the middle of those moments, don't be quiet. Be loud. Don't keep it to yourself. Let it help inspire others. Share your story. Share your story. Tell your lessons. Because sometimes you've got to go through the lesson. Hey, don't touch the stove. I was the kid that had to go touch the stove just to learn why we don't touch the stove. That's how people are. We're all different. But remember, we're all connected. That's the most important part. And that we are all so powerful. Because if I can do this in my life, what can you do in yours? So remember that. We're all powerful. I know this because I live it. We're all connected. I know this because I live it. Now go and love somebody today and share the story with me below. Have a great day. Bye.